welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Lottie, aka Charlotte, from Princess and the Frog. I made a previous video about Princess and the Frog, but I really wanted to make a video to go more in depth into Lottie as to why her character in this movie is really controversial. And I feel as though not a lot of people are speaking about it, and they're really paying her to be the perfect character ever, and really overshadowing Tiana in her own movie. First off, let's talk about Lottie's world of the story. I call her the token white girl. Maybe this will be controversial to some people. She was indeed a token that Disney purposely placed so they can pander to the white audience. That's why I call her a token white girl. You know, deal with that what you will. All right, I said it. Basically, in the story, she was positioned to be Tiana's best friend, which, mind you, during this era, it was during the Jim Crow era. If you don't know about the Jim Crow era, I suggest you to open up a history textbook and then read about this. All right, educate yourself. I'm not going to go into depth because you should know. During this era, there really got a lot of mixing going on with friend groups or with relationships. So there's a lot of, it was kind of controversial why they did this, because they could easily have Tiana have black best friends, which, mind you, the only black friends she had, we only saw them for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. In this movie, she didn't really make that many sacrifices. I know someone's going to say, well, she sacrificed Naveen and her prince. I ain't speaking about that. I'm speaking about other things. I'm speaking about the money aspect, first of all, and also how her sacrifices didn't truly cost her anything, if you think about it. Sure, she lost a prince. I'm pretty sure she could find another rich guy. Sure, she had to kiss a frog. I'm pretty sure she could scrub her face. Yeah, she didn't really lose out on anything. I don't know. Maybe for me, I have higher expectations as to what I see in a best friend. Maybe that's what it is, because I feel like if I was her during that era, I would do more to help Tiana out because I understand what's going on. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. So no, her being a best friend to Tiana wasn't revolutionary, and I don't think it should be that overhyped either. I found a video on TikTok about this girl ranting about Lottie. She was very valid about how, you know, Lottie, she could have helped her, give her some money and stuff, and why she waited so long, especially when she asked Tiana to cater. She could have asked Tiana to cater way back, way earlier. I know she was hosting some parties. I know her daddy was hosting some parties. So why couldn't they ask Tiana to cater for them? They know she was struggling. She was trying to get that money. Well, yeah, it's just all that. And people be like, well, Tiana, she didn't want to accept the money. She just wanted to get the money for herself. Literally, when Lottie threw all that cash to Tiana after saying that she wanted her to cater, she was ecstatic. Ecstatic. This could have happened way earlier. I also want to get into a point in which will be kind of controversial, but you know, this video is controversial anyway, so y'all don't have to deal. I feel as though Lottie was friends with Tiana just because of close proximity. Yes, I said it. Because, let's be honest, when we first saw them on screen, little Lottie, little Tiana was there together. They didn't see each other randomly. It was because Tiana's mommy was working for Charlotte's daddy. That's the only reason why they were able to become friends. If you're not working for the white man, you can go and sing on the streets. They only want to be near you. All right. So that's why I said Charlotte was only friends with Tiana, or Tiana was only friends with Charlotte, because they were in close proximity. Of course they would grow up together. Of course they would be friends, because her mama would always make her dresses. Also, I'm going to talk about Naveen and Lottie. I spoke about this in my Princess and the Frog video. We're really mad that I brought this up, but it is true. Because Lottie was so pampered, she was the it girl of the time. Tiana would get leftovers from Charlotte. She got the dress, leftovers. She got Naveen, leftovers. Naveen was a leftover for Tiana. All right. I said Tiana, she was the second choice for Naveen. People were going ham on me when first saying this. I was saying it again because I still say on it. Because she was second choice for Naveen. If you really look at it, Naveen said yes to Charlotte to that dance. He didn't show up. He wasn't Naveen, but he was supposed to, and he was going to marry Charlotte. He was going to marry Charlotte first before Tiana. So that means she was second choice. He wasn't looking for Tiana like that. He met her once. She said no. He moved on. Even then, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been serious with her. Think about it. That first song where they were in the swamp, you could tell that he was a womanizer. So I'm pretty sure even if Tiana saw him attractive then and he saw her attractive and they got together, he would have just played her. He wouldn't treat her as a princess. He wouldn't treat her as good as Charlotte. All right, that's a fact. Creating a character like this really overshadowed Tiana. Tiana was just a leftover. Even watching the movie, I'm like, dang, everyone's having a good story outside of Tiana. It felt like everyone else was more memorable than Tiana. So imagine, Princess and the Frog was the movie about Charlotte, and Tiana was the side character. Do you think Tiana would be overhyped like this? No. You wouldn't even hear anything about Tiana. I promise you, you would not hear anything about Tiana. And it's not her personality or whatever. It's just because how they created Lottie. They gave her too much ick factor to just be a side character. They created Lottie in the intention of her being a main character in Tiana's movie. Okay, editing Shae here because I'm almost done editing this video, but I realized that I need to clarify some points. So when I rewatched Princess and the Frog, I just rewatched it so I know that I'm speaking the truth and I'm not lying to you guys. So when you first watch the video, the first thing you see is Lottie's life. And you know, you'd be like, wait, but you know, this is how they're trying to set up the movie and try to really understand who Tiana is. But my thing is that if Lottie was just a quote-unquote side character, why did Disney intended for the first setting in the movie to be about Charlotte's life? We understood that she had a rich dad. We understood she had a peak room. We understood her personality before Tiana's personality. Like, we understood that she's rich. But with Tiana, we just understood that she was just another black girl next to Lottie listening to the story that her mom was retelling. And even with the story, Princess and the Frog, I didn't realize this at first until I rewatched it, but even in the Princess and the Frog book, the dress color was Lottie's color. Lottie's color's dress, which was the color pink. Why would you put that in there? If it's the Princess and the Frog, why can't the dress be green? You know, it's just little small things like that. I'm like, that was interesting. Why did they do that? And even in the first scene of the movie, the first person we ever saw was Lottie. And then it panned to Tiana. Why wasn't Tiana the first person we ever seen? Why was it Lottie first? It's just like that, those things. I'm just like, was she really intended to be a main character? She wasn't, in my mind, a side character. I want to go into the romantic setup. No side character would have a romantic setup like that is interfering with the main character's romantic interests. That's what I'm getting at. It's still weird to me, and no one could really change my mind about this, about me saying that Tiana was the second choice. Is that it's just weird how they presented Lottie to be the first ever romantic interest for a prince before the actual princess, who is Tiana. Not to mention, they made Lottie become a princess before Tiana. That is not a side character role. That is main character. I know Disney planted that scene on purpose because when you look at it, Tiana didn't really get her own shot. It was just them two. Lottie was more into privilege, dreaming about marrying a prince, while the others grounded in reality and hard work. So when you hear about those two different backgrounds, you think like, oh, is this movie about the two of them? That's why I'm trying to say, like, I don't know, y'all. Like, Lottie, she really gives the main character. They were trying to set her up as a main character. Honestly, if we had no context of Princess and the Frog being a black princess, I'm pretty sure people would assume that Lottie was supposed to be the princess. I know that's like a hard, unpopular take, but if you think about it, it's true. Because the way people would go ham for Lottie and not Tiana shows me that Lottie had a lot of main character qualities to really create this big fan base. Because Lottie's fan base is insane. It's big. It's bigger than Tiana's, in my opinion. Because I always see stuff about Lottie before Tiana. I want to talk about the dress. Now, this is an interesting topic. I know recently, the whole reason why I came up with this video was because I was getting a lot of videos on my For You page of talking about Lottie and how she was such a great best friend to Tiana. And, you know, about the dress debate or whatever. I think about the dress debate. In theory, it's cute. You think it's cute because, you know, Lottie, she loves her dresses. And you assume that she only cares about herself. And for her to have a dress only for Tiana, you think like, wow, this is such like, you know, oh, she's a girl's girl. Yes and no, because I see it another perspective. And I will insert this Reddit post that I saw, like this comment I saw on Reddit, talking about the dress situation. And they brought us some good points. Like if Lottie was indeed truly a best friend, like how you guys overhype her to be, and like she loves Tiana down, why would she give her a blue dress? Especially when Tiana's color was green. The whole movie, all she wore was green. So why would she give her a blue dress? And that made me question, I'm like, why would she give her a blue dress? Like that was interesting. I'm like, that took me back. I'm like, whoa. That's interesting. And then my thing too is that, okay, that would have been nice for Lottie to save her a dress. My thing is, why couldn't her mom give her the dress? Like, why couldn't her mom have a dress set aside for her and gave it to her? You know, I like, that's like, why was it Lottie and not her mom? I don't know, like, I kind of wish we had more moments like that with Tiana and her mom, because her mom was a freaking dressmaker. So that means Lottie asked Tiana's mom to make her a dress. But even then, if she asked Tiana's mom to make her a dress, Tiana's mom should know that her child's favorite color is green. So I don't know. That's why with the dress, you know, debate and topic, it's debatable to me. Like, I can see either side, but I'm leaning towards, you know, why was it the color blue? Anyways, that's all I gotta say for this. Editor Shae out. I hope you guys liked this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And please be nice in the comments. Like this yeah, that's all I gotta say. Be nice in the comments. It's just fictional stuff, y'all. It's real because it happens in everyday life, but it's still fictional at the end of the day. So, you know, calm thyself. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.